My name is Nancy Berliner. I'm the Wutong Senior Curator of Chinese Art here at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. Dalian Tu was probably the first Chinese painting I ever saw. I have now seen it over my whole lifetime, and every time that I look at, I'm so moved. The painting was a copy created by Song Huizong, or the artist in his Imperial Academy. Who was Song Huizong? Song Huizong was the emperor of China at the end of the Northern Song dynasty, but he was also an artist. So the painting is an image of 3 different processes in making silk. The first step we see is women pounding the silk to soften it. Then we see a woman working with the strands of silk themselves. One woman is creating the strands, another woman is sewing with them. And then we see a group of women who are ironing the silk to make it beautiful and flat. Among the paintings that were in Song Huizong's collection was a painting called Dalian Tu, and it was by the Tang Dynasty artist Zhang Xuan. And Song Huizong's painting was definitely a copy of another painting that was in his collection. So we know that the composition was generally the same composition. And in the descriptions of the Zhang Xuan, descriptions tell us that there actually was a background. The women were standing in a scenery with trees and background in a garden. But in the Song Huizong painting, we just see figures. We don't see any background. So who are these women? If we look at them, they're not wearing clothes that a farmer or a woman who lived in the countryside would be wearing. Looking at the fabulous different textiles that they are wearing on their bodies. Some of them are brocades, some of them are damasks, and one of them, if you look really closely, in fact, is a tie-dye, in Chinese, zharan, and it's made with a special technique. In addition to the fabrics and the clothing that these women are wearing, there are a couple of other features to look at. One is their hair decoration. They actually wore decorations on their heads, little paper cuts that they pinned to their forehead, or paper cuts that they put in their hair and combs. So it's a different way of decorating the body. The other thing to look at is the furnishings. One woman is sitting on an exquisite stool. It is lacquer with mother and pearl inlay in it. And then she's sitting on a brocade cushion. So they're not country women. These are court women. These are women from the imperial court. Why are they working this silk? Some people suppose that these were court women doing an annual ritual of recreating the process of making silk. And that ritual being done in the court, in the imperial court, would bring good fortune and good harvest to people in the countryside and would allow more beautiful silk to be created. So if you look very closely, the painting is painted on silk with ink and mineral colors and little bits of gold. And there's a shimmer in certain spots in the painting. And the very, very fine gold lines that just give an extra depth to the painting. Because the painting was done with mineral colors, they have not faded over the years, and they are just still so bright and vibrant. So we can see some of the exquisite work that was created by the artist. First, let's just look at the brush strokes that outline the faces, the noses, the eyes, the fabrics. These are brush strokes that waver. Sometimes they're thick, sometimes they're thin. They are so finely created. And then, as you can see, all these women are wearing different textiles, different patterns, all at the same time. One dress might be a shirt that is green with blue patterns, and one is wearing a scarf that is red with gold patterns on it. All mixed up together, but they're all so finely created, and they all, even though they contrast, they work together so beautifully. To take the time to look at the painting Dalian by Song Huizong is to have an incredibly rich and moving experience. The way their bodies were outlined, the way the fabric fell, and the way they were standing against a black background was very moving. And I have now seen it over my whole lifetime, and every time that I look at, I'm so moved, and often just moved each time by something else that I see in the painting. Some days it's the shapes, some days it's the brush strokes. They are so finely created and so alive. I know this painting has influenced, inspired so many people over not just the past 100 years, but as well for centuries. It's been preserved by different collectors from century to century to century. I am so happy that this painting can be shared with the world and that people can see it not just to kind of bathe in the beauty of the painting, but also to think about an emperor who cared so much about art, about his collection, and inspiring his people with beauty.